This is the Ford C-Max, a vehicle we saw a couple of years ago at the Detroit Auto Show when they decided to bring it over from Europe. This car is based on the Ford Focus and sold in Europe with a gasoline engine. When they decided to bring it over, we thought, okay, this is a competitive car to other vehicles of this shape, kind of like the Mazda 5. But when it finally arrived, they decided to sell it only as a hybrid. So now this vehicle really has only one competition, another car with a hatchback design like this, the Prius V. But this vehicle is different. It has more power, more available features, arguably better looking, and a much nicer interior. Now here's one thing I want to show you on the back that the Prius V doesn't have. The C-Max comes standard with 17-inch alloy wheels. Now this vehicle starts around $27,000, very similar to the Prius, right in the same ballpark, but this vehicle has the 17-inch wheels. In order to get them in the Prius, you need to go up to $30,000. Now for just $1,700 more, you can equip your C-Max with a very cool feature, and I would definitely offer this because it's very handy. First of all, in the Prius V, you can't get a power liftgate, but now this has a true proximity sensor setting. What you do is you have your key in your pocket or your purse, and you kick underneath the bumper. The proximity sensor underneath the bumper opens up the hatch, and you can load things in with your hands full of groceries, for example. When you're done, you kick underneath the bumper again, and down goes the tailgate. That's pretty clever stuff. It's also found in the Ford Escape. It's also found in other vehicles like Mercedes-Benz. So whoever's decided to market this to the car companies has got a great feature on their hands. Now let's open the back again. I want to show you a few things. First and foremost is the fact that this is one area where the Prius V wins. The cargo space really is kind of limited here. It's got a higher floor because that's where they've decided to put the lithium-ion battery. That's one bonus. It has a lithium-ion battery and the Prius doesn't, but it steals cargo space from the floor here. The opening isn't that big, and that's where the Prius V is going to win. V for versatility and volume, and that vehicle definitely has more. Let's have a look inside. Now, as I mentioned, this vehicle is built off the Ford Focus platform. So too is the Ford Escape. And because they have that common platform, it helps to save money in the production. And when you look at the inside of this vehicle, you can see commonality here. The dash between the Focus, the C-Max, and the Escape, all very similar. Nice soft touch materials, contrasting colors, and also feeling materials like this painted center in the middle that comes in the gray and also the bright silver, the titanium look. It really does look high-end. In contrast to the Prius, for example, that has a monochromatic, very plasticky looking interior. The seats are comfortable. You can sit up high and see out no problem. The back seat really is surprising to me. It's got a flat floor, which is great for loading kids in and out, and that's who's going to be using this vehicle. Plenty of room and headroom back there, so that's very usable. Now this is the SEL version of this hybrid. Now what you get for that, leather seats, comes nicely equipped, all of the stuff you see here. Now for just $2,500 more, they have an amazing package. $2,500 gets you the power liftgate that I showed you with the kick feature. You get the proximity sensors, a proper proximity sensors for the door. You get a backup camera. You get the higher end Sony radio. You also get navigation. In addition to that, you get the auto park feature. This vehicle parks itself. It even searches for a parking spot, and it does it all automatically. So for $2,500, the price now comes up on this SEL version to just around $33,000. The Prius can't touch this vehicle for content. To get navigation in a Prius, you got to spend $37,000. And you can't even get leather seats in a Prius. You get the faux leather. The C-Max comes very nicely equipped. The options are not expensive. You can get a very nice vehicle like this one I'm sitting in here off the dealer showroom for around $33,000. Now it's nice to get back into a Ford product because I can tell right away the steering feels so good. I've been driving a lot of other Korean and Japanese import cars lately with not very good electric power steering. Ford calls their system E-Pass. It has a great feel to it. On center, you can feel what's going on through the road, and also when you turn, it's a very progressive feel to it. It also has the ability to adjust for things like a crown on the road. If the road is curved off to one side, the steering can adjust. Same thing for crosswinds. So it really is an advanced climate system, and you can feel it. This vehicle feels substantial. It's got more weight than the Prius V, it's got more power, but it gets better efficiency. And that's because the engine and the electric motor can disengage from each other. The vehicle can drive on electric power at higher speeds than the Prius can, and even when it's driving the front wheels, it can also have the gasoline engine running in the background if need be to top up the battery. Of course, it has the regenerative braking that all hybrid vehicles have, but this vehicle goes back and forth between the gas and the electric more seamlessly than you get with the Toyota product. And because this C-Max is going on electric mode more often than the Prius is, because the Prius only up to a certain speed can run on electric, then it has to engage the gasoline engine. This vehicle can stay on electric on a wider range of speeds. You get better efficiency. So the plus is you get a nicer feeling car, more substantial. It doesn't drive like a typical hybrid car does, but on paper gets better fuel economy when you look at the ratings from Transport Canada. So all of this is saying to me that this is a better driving hybrid, which is sacrilege to people who follow hybrids. They all think right away that Toyota's got the best one on the market. Same thing when I drove the Fusion last. I think the Fusion's a better driving car than the Camry hybrid. But you know what? A lot of people just go to the bank of Toyota and put their money down and get a Prius because they've been at it for so long. But there are other hybrids out there that are just as good, if not better, and this C-Max is one of them. This C-Max in closing definitely has more features than the Prius V. It's got more power, the steering feels better, it's got a nicer interior, the options are amazing, stuff you can't even get in the Prius V. But the problem this vehicle has is that it's not a Toyota. And that's the thing, is the Toyota and the Prius, king of the hybrids. They've been at it for so long, it's like a blue chip. When people think of hybrid, they automatically think of Prius, and they bank on that. They haven't really moved their technology forward that quickly compared to other manufacturers like Ford here. Volkswagen also has a very interesting hybrid with their new Jetta turbocharged version, but you know what? They have something that works, they know it works, and it sells. So that's the biggest problem the C-Max is going to have with all other hybrids other than Toyotas. They're not Toyotas.